I'm going to share with you the 10 keys to unlock what I call your quick brain, right? These are the 10 things scientifically proven to help you be faster, smarter, and better, to optimize your brain health and your fitness. And now, every single thing I'm going to say, nobody's going to debate, right? They're going to say, yes, of course, but common sense is not common practice. So what I'm going to ask people who are watching this is to rate yourself 0 to 10. How well am I doing in this one area? Like in terms of how I'm eating or exercising or something. And then you'll notice, everyone wants to know what the magic pill is. There's no magic memory pill. They're magic memory processes, right? If everyone wants to know the one silver bullet, you have to do all of these things because that's what falls within the focal point, meaning the 80-20 rule, the 20% that gives you 80% of the results and the rewards. So really fast, the 10 keys for unlocking your quick brain. Number one is good brain food, all right? Good brain food, because you are what you eat. What you eat matters, especially to your gray matter. There's certain foods that are really good for your brain, and you probably eat most of these foods as you are, because I know you're very...
Blueberries,
yeah, all like blueberries is like, I call them brain berries, and avocados and the good fats and all of them. So there's 10 of them that I recommend, and so they're really excellent. They're very neuroprotective and such, including dark chocolate. So dark chocolate is good. What's good for your mood is generally good for your mind. But so a good brain diet is number one. So just rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 10. How good is your diet? All right. Number two is killing ants. Automatic negative thoughts. Your self-talk. And so what I would recommend people, 0 to 10. How's that feel? How well are you doing? And not only that, but maybe going on a little fast or a cleanse. Like we cleanse the food we eat and things we put in our body, but what about the thoughts that we're putting in our body?
Try to do 30 days of no negative thoughts.
I mean, yeah, one day, or not complaining, or something
right,
like
no
that.
Complaining challenge,
because it's just, again, people get so addicted to these things like complaining and whatever you're rehearsing. You're literally rewiring your brain to get more of that. It's not law of attraction. There's a law of action that's going on. That makes it, because all behavior is belief driven. And so you're wiring your brains to be really rehearsing those things. That's why they say that the fearful person dies 1,000 times, like a coward dies 1,000 times in their mind, and a non-coward, like a brave person dies just once. Because every time you're rehearsing, oh, I'm scared of public speaking, you do it over and over again, not only do you get the fear of it every single time, because your mind doesn't know the difference between something you vividly imagine and something that's real. Literally, if you were to put on a brain sensing device, the same parts of your brain that would light up if a dog walked in, you see what parts of your brain lights up, and if you imagine that dog walking in, the same exact parts of your brain will light up. So the mind doesn't know the difference. It's the most powerful tool you have is your imagination. Our thoughts are things, and it's activating our imagination. So, don't do it to rehearse your fears and the things that are negative, right? Only have thoughts of things that you want to really happen. Okay. So the third thing, exercise. Okay. People, really, we know. Number 4, brain nutrients. Omega-3s, the DHAs, the ginkgo biloba, vitamin B, B12s. And this is a subject that comes up because, a lot of people travel, they have fast food lifestyles, and, but maybe they're lacking in certain supplements. And what I would say is, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not anything that ends on an ist, but go to a doctor, a good functional medicine doctor, have a blood test. And I say the same thing for diet. When people say what's the best, do food sensitivity tests, see what your blood says, red, yellow, green. Red, stay away from, yellow, sparingly, green, and see how you flourish on it afterwards, right? And then test it. But same thing with nutrient profile. You can see what you're deficient at. Because if you're low on B vitamins, if you're low on DHA, then you're gonna have cognitive issues, right? So supplement. 5th thing that you want to optimize your brain is positive peer group. We know who you spend time with is who you become. And it's not just a positive thinking, affirmation quote. Literally, you have mirror neurons, and your mirror neurons in your nervous system is when you could watch a sport or watch a movie and you could feel what they feel. It's what or you have empathy for other people. We're always imitating people, right? And so who you spend time with is who you become, because you're imitating their habits, their behaviors, their thought patterns, and everything. So that's why they say you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? If you're around 9 broke people, you're gonna be the 10th, right? Like you hear these things all the time, but it's not just your biological networks or your neurological networks, analyze your social networks, right? Because whether or not you smoke has less to do with your neurological networks and more to do whether or not your friend's friend smoke. It's going to have more of an influence. 6th thing for your brain, clean environment. We know a clean environment is good for your brain. At an anecdotal level, when you clean your desk or you clean your laptop off, you have clarity of thought, right? But I don't just mean that. I mean clean air, clean water, because there's a lot of pollutants that's not good for your cognition, right? So from there, we have number 7, sleep. This is a big one for so many people. Sleep is so important for your brain for 3 reasons. Number 1 is where you consolidate short to long-term memory. Everyone who pulled an all-nighter back in university, that hurt you because you need that sleep. Number 2, it's where you clean out the plaque that could lead to brain aging challenges. And that's what the latest research is saying in terms of leading to dementia and such. And then the third reason is because when you dream. And here's the thing, you're like, what does that have to do with anything, Jim? It's like, you don't know how many amazing ideas and invention, literature, works of art came in dream states. Like, did you know, like I mentioned Mary Shelley, here in London, Frankenstein came to her in a dream. Paul McCartney came up with Yesterday in his dream. Like a chemist came up with the periodic table in his dream. Elias Howe created the sewing machine in his dream, right? Like, what are you dreaming about late at night? Because when you are working all day and you're learning all day, your brain doesn't shut off at night. At night, it's more active. People don't realize that. You think it's just not happening. It's actually more active, and it's coming up with solutions, and it's integrating stuff in the form of dreams. Number 8 is brain protection, meaning that, like I work with a lot of athletes, high performer athletes. Concussions are a big deal, right? And I've had a number of TBIs, traumatic brain injuries. But not just that, I did a whole episode on electromagnetic fields. Like, people don't realize that like our smart devices, like our brains didn't really evolve to have like all this electricity like right by our brains, And I read recently that 90% of kids sleep with their phones underneath their pillows. I mean, who knows the effect that's having?
So better avoid it.
Protect your brain. Okay. Wear a helmet. And then finally, 9 and 10, ninth key to keeping your brain alive is new learnings, right? The neurogenesis and neuroplasticity means neurogenesis, you could create new brain cells the day you die. Science never thought that. Neuroplasticity is saying you could create new connections. The way to improve neurogenesis, neuroplasticity, 2 things, novelty and nutrition. Just like when you're an athlete, just like training your body, you give it novelty or stimulus, and then you feed it with nutrition, right? And so that's how you build your mental muscles too. Finally, number 10, stress management. Stress management, meaning people don't realize it because it's invisible, but it's like you don't realize how much stress you're under until you're on vacation or you're getting a massage. You don't realize because it's all there all the time. It's like the fish that they don't see the water because it's there all the time. So what are we doing to cope? Meditation, relaxation, massage, yoga, whatever it is that gets us stressed.